All right. All right. Here we go again. Talking ish. October 16th, 2023. Got lots of stuff coming out this week. Got all of our Halloween shows and reviews coming up. So stay tuned for those. And I'm just getting ready to move. So I've got a bunch of stuff, just scripts and things ready to go. I'm starting to pack up all the collection connection, and there is a lot of stuff. See this case behind me with the Transformers in it? I got 4 cases. I got a Star Wars case, a Transformers case, a G.I. Joe case. I got a Lego case. I've got 1, 2, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 32 short boxes of comics. 3 Millennium Falcons, a USS Flag. Tons and tons of stuff that I got to get moving. So let me invite my co-hosts into the room. We got some good stuff. Loki's going on right now. That was a fun couple episodes. We've got Generation V. Generation V has been fun. It's not necessarily the kind of show that you can put on with your kids watching, but it starts off, I think within the first 10 minutes of the first episode, girl shrinks down small and she's wrapped around some dude's junk, and just like, okay, this isn't going to be the show that I'm going to be able to watch with my kids. So I had to keep on shelving it until the kids were asleep, and I'm like sneaking out in the middle of the night to try to watch Generation V by myself. But I think it's totally worth it. What I am surprised with is that it hasn't really caught on. Like the boys comics aren't like hitting like fire like the Walking Dead was, or like the Marvel movies were. I would think that Generation V, because of how good it is as a show, would be carrying more weight. We got our first guest here, Comic Lizard and Jada Geek.
What's going on?
I'm just talking a little bit of Generation V right now. I don't know if you guys have been able to catch it.
We haven't watched it yet.
Oh,
But the boys comics are starting to take off again. We're selling a bunch of that stuff again.
are they? Okay, I was just saying how I haven't seen like a big uptick with boys comics. Just getting our for some reason when I do this live on Facebook, I have to actually go on to Facebook.
I sold the full 12-volume trade paperback collection, and then we sold a whole bunch of individual issues and the Dear Becky series, which is kind of a prequel to the boys. So, I mean, there are people that are interested in picking them up. Blank covers, especially too. And the Hero-gasm mini-series that they did.
No, it's good. I'm not catching. Oh, what do we have? Fuzzy the Whatnot Nightmare. There Woo! He is. So Fuzzy, you're hopping in with us. We're talking Generation V. Let's see.
Ooh, didn't watch it, so you guys keep going.
We haven't seen it yet either. We're behind.
Hi, any update about Sardar Udham movie? Okay, this is going to be our movie that we're going to be watching for next time. I'm not sure how long Sardar Udham is as a movie, but I'm thinking since we were able to do that last deal where we split up the episodes of the TV shows, I'm thinking if we get a 3-hour movie, man, that we just do an hour and a half and hit it in 2. What do you think,
I mean, If it's good, I'm down to watch the whole thing. In one
Well,
run.
at least for the rest of this month, dude, because we want to catch. We want to be able to pack in more Halloween movies.
Yeah. Definitely, dude. I want to get more of the Halloween movies in. I've been trying to find more stuff to watch myself, but fucking, I cannot
Dude,
wait.
Generation V is good, bro.
I know. I want to dig it. I want to watch it, and like I love the boys universe. I know the show was written for me. Like I know it. Like I seen the trailer and I was like, oh,
there's
I'm
just
all
like
in.
let me just sell you one scene, Fuzz. This girl's got blood powers. Okay, so she can like cut herself, and then the blood comes out, and she can use her blood to fuck people up. It's kind of like whips or whatever. But and well, that's what she knows how to use her powers with. But there's a scene where there's this guy who like his name is Rufus, and he roofies people by talking to them. And so she goes to talk to Rufus, and then she wakes up in his room laying on his bed, and he's got his robe open and his dick's out. And she's like, she gets mad at him, and his dick swells up and bursts. So her blood powers swell up and burst his dick, and it shows it. And just insane. Insane.
I'm in for that. But dude,
I don't necessarily. I've had to. I haven't been able to just go in the living room and watch that show. Like within 10 minutes of the first episode, they got just full frontal male nudity that I'm not gonna have my daughters out there watching.
That's a cock, dude. Okay, I've cracked the fucking code. Okay, I fucking Fuzzy did it. Write this day in your calendar. I have figured out where they're going with Fast and Furious and Mission Impossible. Here we go. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Drop some knowledge on us.
Here we go. The end of Fast and Furious of the half of the movie point, right? The submarine opens up. There's a submarine and it opens up and it shows Gal Gadot come out and then it ends. Boom. Okay? End. Boom. Like that. Okay? Now, I watched Mission Impossible again this weekend. Guess how it ends? With a fucking submarine getting away. Crossover, baby. That's right. You're going to see Toretto, Ethan Hunt hunting down the bad guys. God damn it. I just sold it. I saved every franchise in the world, dude. You're welcome. And you guys will all pay money to see that.
Probably not.
Probably. Probably.
I was like, I just was laughing to myself when I was watching because Mission Impossible is still my favorite movie of the summer. Like that was awesome. Like it was really good. But like I just laughed because I was like, oh fuck, it ends with a submarine too, huh? And then we were driving with my cousin and I was like, oh shit, what if they work? What if they cross over and shit? And see, I cracked the code, figured it out. But speaking of my cousin, you guys have seen The Office, right?
Parts of it.
So there's an episode where there's a Diwali celebration, and Michael brings his girlfriend, but he thinks it's a costume party. So she dresses up as a cheerleader and stuff and goes to this Diwali party, and he's like, oh shit, like they got it mixed up. Well, I lived that this Friday. And my cousin's wife had her 50th birthday party, and it was on Friday the 13th. And so I was told that it was going to be like couples horror, it's some sort of horror movie couples. So me and the wife went as the Purge, like people from the Purge and shit like that. And we show up, and I didn't read the invitation right, but it was a Friday the 13th party. You had to come as one of the counselors or one of the things like that. So everyone's dressed up as like dead counselors and fucking, kids like that. And me and my wife come in with shotguns and fucking purge masks on and shit like that. And everyone just, like, you heard the needle go, like that. And I walked in, and my wife looks at me. She goes, why the fuck is everyone dressed the same? And I said, I don't know, maybe they just did like a gang thing. And my cousin walks up to me and goes, what Friday the 13th movie was this in? And I'm all, oh. Yeah, I'm purging Crystal Lake. That's what the fuck I'm doing. That's what, and I saved the day. I saved the day with that shit. But I thought that shit was funny. Then we had, and it was all teachers. My cousin's wife is a teacher, so it was all these teachers just fucking partying and getting drunk. And they had Friday the 13th, the originals, playing in the background. And my cousin is not woke like the rest of us, and we see the guy in the wheelchair, the one that gets the axe in the head or whatever and goes coming down the stairs. And we're like, it's wheelchair guy. And they're like, you cannot say that, okay? He has a name. And so we're like, I don't know what his fucking name is. Like, no one knows what these guys' names are. So we put the subtitles on, so you can see. Like,
and the credits says wheelchair guy?
It says wheelchair. He had a name, but in parentheses it said the wheelchair. I couldn't stop laughing, dude. They were so pissed off. It was awesome, dude. And then those are like just gratuitous tit shots and bush shots, and you know what I mean. Like, so we're just laughing, like having a great time with it. And they ended up just getting up and leaving out of the room because we were laughing so hard, dude. I miss the '80s.
Oh, when men were men.
Yeah, fuck yeah, and you can see a tit in a bush and not be judged on it. You know what I mean? Like, fuck.
Where men were men and retards are retards, and we knew the difference.
Oh my god!
When mongoloids can jump out of the water and get your ass.
The Jaded Geek approves of this message.
I was fucking crying, dude. Like, I could not stop laughing. And my cousin's like, so I ended up outside, like, playing poker with some of them. And I could just see the glares from them, like, just fucking staring at me. Like, the drunker they got, the madder they got at me.
Is poker going to be able to keep being called poker? Or is it going to change to, like, poke them?
Yeah, it might be poke them.
Yeah.
Don't give them any ideas.
I just found that shit funny.
The more ideas that we pump into their head about absurdities are the things that they will embrace in short order. We live in really crazy times where things that you would have said as like an absurd joke just a couple of years ago is like what's actually happening in a serious fashion in front of our faces. It's crazy times. That's one of the things about, going back to watch a lot of these 80s films that we've been watching lately is that people were free back then, man. You could say and do whatever you wanted and nobody was going to like get up in your grill about it. And nowadays, man, you're walking on eggshells every day, everywhere. It's disgusting.
Speaking of which,
you guys get that reel I sent you?
Which one?
Celebrate diversity.
Oh, Josh heard the music and he started singing before the lyrics started on the thing. He already knew the song.
Nacho taco, chimichanga.
And at the end, they all start singing together, and it's like ching 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 chong ching. Oh, so good.
Oh. No, did you get to see that one I sent you, Liz? The documentary?
No, so I'm in the middle of watching a show called Murder It Comes to Town or something like that. It's a bunch of serial killer, or it's a bunch of like true crime stuff that happens in small town like America all over the place. It's got like 2 more episodes, and then I was gonna watch that show. It's a murder mystery, right? But like by the end of it, it tells like this really good. So the town it's 12 people. There's 12 people in the town, and one goes missing. And someone in the town killed him. And it's all these backwood Aussies that live in this, like, again, like, small little town. So everyone's got shit on each other. Like, they know everyone's shit. And so, like, that's what the whole documentary goes through. But by the end of it, they give this, like, kind of thing about generations, right? Like, so, like, their generation started this town, and by the time
they're old and dead, there wasn't any kids in the town, so the town dies with them, kind of thing. Like it's a great like it's not just like a murder mystery. It's like about like people and stuff. It was really good.
Okay. No, it's the next thing to watch because right now I was on Hulu watching all this true crime stuff, and then you sent me that, but I was in the middle of I gotta finish this. I gotta finish it.
No, I'm with you. I get that way too. I watched the one on Hulu, the Manor McKay. Did you guys see that one? So
you'd have to tell me the story.
Hulu Wayne's pretty dope, dude. Hulu has got good. They do a good job putting their horror together.
Oh yeah, no, they love Halloween. You could tell, but like this was like so when Facebook was like in its prime, right? Like when it was like before there was really Twitter or anything like that. When Facebook was in its prime, there was this thing I would get these ads for this haunted house, right? Like a haunted maze kind of thing, and it was supposed to be the scariest place in the world. And they would put like bags on your head and like fucking like legit like try to scare the shit out of you.
The Monster
and I signed.
Inside.
Which one?
Called Monster Inside.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. So that's a documentary on what that guy did, and me and my wife were watching it, and no joke, I had signed up for it. Like I was gonna do it and shit, but like I didn't get chosen for whatever reason. But like, because it was only specific people got to go, and I was gonna go do it. But then after watching this documentary, I was like, God, thank God I didn't go, dude, because he would pull people's teeth out. Like you signed a waiver where he would pull your teeth out, and I was like, dude, if a dude tried to pull my teeth out, I don't care how I would kill the guy, dude. Like I would legit beat the fuck out of that guy. Like I don't care how torturous.
I just got done paying a dentist to do that. I'm not gonna let him do it. No.
Right, exactly.
That's
nuts. Yeah, fuck that, dude. Like I was like, dude, it was.
I don't understand the mentality of a person that would sign away good teeth for a scare.
Right.
Because I mean, basically, you're gonna go to that haunted house like twice, and then you're not gonna have any teeth left.
Well, they would bury you alive, fucking, like all kinds of crazy shit.
Well, who's
like,
gonna hold still for that shit? I don't care what I sign. If somebody starts coming and opening my mouth up, dude, it's on site, man. I'm gonna be swinging for the fences.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I think. I'm sure that's why I didn't get picked.
Like my Wolverine costume has like real claws on it. Like,
yeah. You go into a situation like that, they're going to get my One Piece, the judge. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. That's right.
Speaking of One Piece,
no, Fuzz, you gotta watch a TV. You gotta watch a movie.
This guy back from New York yet?
You gotta watch a movie on Hulu called Slaughterhouse. It's about a killer sloth. Oh my god, it is so good. It's so bad. It's good.
Slaughterhouse.
Yeah, like a sloth, but it's called Slaughterhouse. It's about a killer sloth, like giant killer sloth. It's killing. Oh my god, it's so good.
I'm in.
It's Hulu.
I'm in.
Dude, you're gonna love it. We share the same half a brain, so you're gonna love it. Sorry.
Havoc, dude.
Havoc.
Hey, how's it going?
You still in New York?
I just got here a while back today.
Got home.
Right. Yeah, I just got back home.
What's that garbage picture you got up there? What is that?
That's Doom.
That's Dr. Doom right there.
Doom.
That's a beautiful Dr. Doom.
Yeah, that one's badass, dude. I like.
So how was New York, dude?
It was amazing.
How long did it take for you to stop smelling urine?
I didn't smell urine at all. Like where we were at the East Village in Manhattan. We were staying there. Isaac's brother lives there. Wasn't bad. The Javits Center is nice, huge. I was there at the Artist Alley the whole time. I never went out. It was so big that there's so many creators. It was incredible. Like I had no time. Like I was in shock. It was this Artist Alley is 100 times better.
There he goes.
What happened?
What was that?
Mm-hmm.
He was amazed.
We couldn't handle it.
I think
Yeah,
San
so-
Diego. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying. So it was great. I mean, so many artists from Europe are over here, and also just old school art letterers, colorists, writers that don't. They're pretty up in age, so they don't really travel. Besides just being on the East Coast, so yeah, I met a bunch of those people, and yeah, it was a good time. It was a good time. I'm definitely gonna go back next year.
So
It's
how
a
does it?
must.
What would you say that the big differences are between that and San Diego? Other than what you
This is
said, of
more
course.
comics. It's more comics. It's everything's separated. So the artist alley has its own floor. It's by itself. Except the autographs and photos has its own floor, own side. It's not, nothing nowhere like connected. Same thing with cosplay. They have their own floor. And then the regular stuff like the Marvel booth, the eBay booth, and Funko, they're on the same floor, have their separate floor, so everything's separate. Um, and so you could either stay at one section, and then of course they have two gigantic locations of where all these panels are. So you have that too. So we went to the Tom McFarlane panels, which we got that 2 out of 50 Tom McFarlane book. And but yeah, you could choose anything you want, and you'll be stuck there all day.
You'll be stuck there all day.
Yeah.
You can't get into the other
No, I'm
rooms or
saying
whatever.
there's so much things to do in that one floor that you'll be like just stuck there, like you don't
Were
want
the
to leave
how,
because
were the floors themselves bigger than like the San Diego layout?
yeah, it's way bigger. Yeah, and it's up instead of going. It's going up.
Okay,
Levels
so it's
instead
going
of-
up instead of sprawling
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, and it's it starts at 10, and then it
Yo, Jerry, we're good.
the
We're
floor
talking
ends
New
at
York
7.
Comic Con right now.
The floor ends at 7, but the artist alley ends at 8.
Next
Every day
movie?
except Sunday.
Next movie for Radioactive Curry is going to be Sardar Udham. So you're going to get your dream's going to come true on that one, dude. Depending if it is a 3-hour movie, we're going to do it in 2 halves though,
What? Why?
because we have to do all these horror movies. I still have to paint a house. I still have to put in hardwood floors
Havoc.
and work full time.
I was reading on Bleeded Cool News that someone took a shit in the middle
No,
of the
service
floor
dog
at New
did.
York Con.
A
Who?
service dog. A service dog.
Oh, a service dog did? Oh, someone was saying, yeah, they were making it seem like as if a fucking person took a shit on the floor. I was like, damn, dude.
No, a service dog did. They just trying to make a story out of nothing. But yeah, it was just a dog. They picked it up really quick. But yeah, it's so good that we're gonna definitely gonna go back next year. I was supposed to do either Baltimore Heroes Con next year. I said, yeah, I'm gonna come back over here instead.
Do you think that the strike still had some effect on it? That you got the authentic experience?
No.
Or do you...
Yeah, it was nothing. It had no. Well, for the
I don't think it wasn't good. I'm just saying that it was different than it would be if there was no strike.
no. The only thing that affected was when you took a picture or a signing with one of the celebrities. Especially the actors, you just couldn't ask them any questions about their movies because of the strike. But other than that, everything was normal. Nothing was. It wasn't San Diego that how it got screwed because of the strike. It didn't get affected.
I heard San Diego was good because of the strike.
No, it wasn't good. You
I heard
heard
that
wrong.
they got to focus on comics as opposed to
No, you heard wrong. It was horrible. It was horrible because all the people that were supposed to be in, all the panel people that just go for the panels were stuck doing nothing and ended up being
so they were all over the floor in the way.
Yeah, you couldn't even walk. And these are just looky loos, so they're not even buying stuff. So it was not good at all.
So Havoc, tell me, are you caught up with Generation V?
Yeah.
Oh, what do you think about her blowing that dude's dick off?
That was fucking crazy. You know what? I didn't see that coming from that girl betraying them. I thought it was the guy that got his dick blown. I just didn't. I didn't realize it was the white girl that was the one that was betraying them. So they got me pretty good on that one. So it's been a good series so far, in my opinion. It's been good.
Yeah, I'm having a good time with it. It's that universe is dope, man.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been a good series. So, but Nick, you have to come next year, man. I'm again starting next week. I'm gonna start just like I did last year. We'll start saving again.
You have to bring 2 cartons with you. Cigarettes there are twice as expensive as in California.
Oh, that's the only problem. It's freaking expensive. Like,
well, yeah, that's why I didn't want to go. That's why I was like, I ain't got the money for all that shit.
The Uber that I got today from our place to JFK, it cost me $140.
Holy shit!
Yeah, and that was just regular time. Yeah, you ain't gonna make it, bro. It's too far. JFK is it's in the outskirts of New York, so it's not even in New York. It's in the outskirts. So anywhere you go, it's like even when we got there Wednesday night from JFK to the East Village, it was $120. The taxi. We took a taxi, and I checked the Uber, and it was the same price basically.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's
insane, dude. I don't know.
But worth it though. We had a great fucking time.
Maybe it's that one-time experience. All right, let's get everybody back on board with things that we can all talk about. We didn't go live last week, so we didn't talk about the Ahsoka finale.
Hey, I liked it. I don't care what you say.
I loved it.
I dug it. I was in it.
Dude, they showed the father, the daughter, and the son. Perfection. I'm just sad that he died. And it's not good. That was like one of the best portions of the ending, because now we're gonna see who's the mother.
Yeah, I liked it. I can't wait for Ahsoka season 2. So I'm in. I know, Josh. I know, bud. I know. But I'm with Havoc on this one. I really enjoyed it.
I don't understand, in light of the things that we're watching coming out of India, how this is even like close to being on the radar. The show was so boring and so stupid. It was hard to fathom. It's like everything about it is underwhelming and disappointing. Everything. It's just the characters are not interesting. The characters are boring. They can't act for nothing. They denigrate Thrawn. They lost poor Ray Stevens in this whole thing. They've transported him to Middle Earth or something at the end, which was super bizarre. It like the whole thing was just dumb. It was just dumb. Thrawn escapes. The heroes are trapped in another galaxy until they hitch a ride on the whales again or some shit. Like crab people who, it just so many problems. Just terrible.
Everything for Rebels, baby. It all closing down for Rebels.
Well, you're not selling Rebels then. If Rebels is like this,
Rebels it's fucking amazing.
No, I have my doubts. Liz, tell them.
It's bad.
Thank you. If Liz doesn't like it, you know it's bad.
But
I thought you would love it because of those crab people. I was like, they're Ewoks.
Okay, so the things that they put in for people like Liz, the little wolf dogs that they ride, that's definitely, it's like the porgs. It's like the little crystalline dogs in the sequels. They put that shit in there for people like me. The crab people, what I like about this show as a whole is the fact that they still are trying to use, for the most part, a lot of practical effects for those types of things. So it kind of looks more real than just that. But I don't know, like, I'm sure a lot of it has to do with the fact that we haven't watched Rebels. But I just was not, I was confused. And I think a lot of it, though, too, is that I still in my brain, like, I have a whole world built up around who Thrawn is. You know what I mean? In my brain, I have a whole world of who the Night Sisters of Dathomir are. Like, and this is not it at all. So it's like I have to retrain my brain, and I'm getting too old for that shit. I'll be honest with you, I'm getting too old for that shit. I'm getting to the point where I'll get off my lawn. This is the kind of stuff that I like. Like, I like the Heir to the Empire Thrawn. I like the Yoselamari Thrawn. I see the action figure that they did, and he's a svelte, skinny kind of guy with his Yoselamari that he wears around. You know what I mean? There's just
like the cat around your shoulder.
That could be, yeah, exactly, and that could be why I'm disappointed in Ahsoka. Is because, like, I have in my head, like I said, who these groups are, who these people are, and this is not them. And I'm having a hard time retraining my brain to accept some of that stuff.
Honestly, dude, Gleaming the Cube was better.
Well, I agree with that, but I mean, I'm just saying that it's the.
Well, with Thrawn, it's basically the same as at the ending of Rebels. I mean, when he gets taken by the whales and everybody else, by Ezra, and they were younger. They were lost for years out there.
No, I'm not disputing that there isn't consistency between Rebels and Ahsoka, or the Clone Wars cartoon and Ahsoka. Like, I'm not disputing that there's any.
She's just saying this ain't her Thrawn.
Yeah.
This isn't my Thrawn. This isn't my Night Sisters of Dathomir that I remember reading from the novels, the comic books. You know, I read all of that stuff, all the expanded universe stuff, and this isn't that Thrawn. And I know that part of probably my dislike, or it's not dislike, it's just disappointment. Like, that I'm sure part of it has to do with the fact that this isn't, it's not consistent from what I remember growing up. You know, sometimes you grow up and this is who your character was, and then they take a shit.
I don't grow up.
Well, I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, I read the Extended Universe, all those. I read every single one of those books and stuff like that, and I get what you're saying, but since all that is not canon at all,
well,
I just threw it to the side.
It was canon, and it
was, but like I said, it's not anymore.
It was taken out by people who are bad at their job. And you know it.
And I understand.
Who wants a ticket to the fight we're about to watch right now? Do you guys want one? I'm selling them for $20, dude. The ticket the fight we're about to watch right now. Go and go.
Like, I understand what you're saying, that this isn't canon. Like, I'm not. I know this isn't that. I know that expanded universe, the Timothy Zahn stuff, and all those Courtship of Princess, like all of that stuff. You know, the Yuzon Vong, none of that stuff is canon. I get that. I'm upset that they've created all of that, and now they're just like, nah, I'm gonna do this instead. Like I get that. I just don't have the interest to invest in wanting to learn all of that over again. it's to the point where I kind of just want to watch, Star Wars, A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, like Rogue One and Andor, and then like that's my Star Wars universe. Like that's all I want to accept right now. Like they keep changing too much stuff on me, and I'm starting to get that like I said, the get off my lawn kind of like like attitude towards it. I'm getting too old to, I guess, appreciate the new stuff. And if I don't have an interest in it, then I don't want to take. I watch it because we talk about it here. But if I was left on my own accord, I wouldn't. And I don't know that I'd go back and watch Rebels because this isn't making me want to see Rebels. You know what I mean? I don't know.
No, that all makes sense. That all makes sense because I read all that stuff too. I'm very well versed, and all that stuff was better. But
and the thing is though, is that
they're trying to put the toothpaste back in the tube with this.
We know, well, and that's the thing. We know that all of that stuff was canon. Lucasfilm had a continuity department with a guy named Leland Shee, whose entire job, he got paid to understand Star Wars lore and history and make sure all the comics and the video games and the novels the role-playing games worked in concert with what George Lucas had put together. And Disney kicked it all to the curb. And we know that they did it out of spite and malice. We know this. So here's the thing. We're watching things like Rebels and like these dumbass shows, and we want to try and invest in it some kind of importance or value when we know it's growing out of the pile of shit that's the Walt Disney Company. We can't deceive ourselves and pretend like this is any good. It's trash.
Like, no, I'm not that far.
Well, I know you're in the disappointment phase. I'm in the disgust phase.
Because I'm sure that Rebels, from the little that I've seen of Rebels, because I used to watch a couple episodes here and there when I used to work at FATS with AJ. He put it on, so I'd see it, and it reminded me of Clone Wars, and I really liked the Clone Wars cartoon. I did. You did too, you jackass. You just don't remember. And I'm sure I would like the Rebels, but watching Ahsoka first doesn't make me want to go back and watch the Rebels. Like watching One Piece live action made me want to go watch One Piece animated or read the comics. It's not having that reverse effect to fill in that gap. That's all. But I mean, we'll watch season 2. Josh will, be disappointed.
No, disgusted.
Oh, that's right. I'll be disappointed. But I don't know.
I was disappointed 20 years ago with the prequels. I'm in the disgust phase.
That's in the
I'm a glass half full kind of guy, so it was good. I liked it.
I am too. I'm a glass half full kind of gal, but I just
she gutted that one evil witch bitch just like that, like just fucking gutted her. I said, "Yep, I like it. I like it." And then my homegirl, the half Mandalorian, half Jedi, her Ahsoka's Padawan, I'm in love with her. Like, I don't know why, but I'm literally like, every time she comes on the screen, I smile and shit. I'm like, oh, here she is. I feel like I'm a kid at school again, like, talking to a fucking hot chick or something like that. So Fuzzy's all in, dude. I'm in. Like, I literally went and bought the toy and shit like that. I was like, I'm ready, dude. I'm gonna go see her and get her to sign this bad boy. I'm be like, hi.
I can see you doing that too. That's the funny thing.
She's only slightly more hot than Rose Tico.
Oh. No.
Look, if she would have kept her long hair, I might have bumped it up another notch, but she cut that all off in defiance of all that's good and right in the universe.
I think she had short hair in Rebels, didn't she?
Don't care.
I think she looked punk rock, so I was down.
Yeah, she had her short hair in Rebels too.
Because our Disney Infinity figure, she's got the short hair. That's my exposure to Rebels is the Disney Infinity and
Lego games.
I don't don't know. They don't think they did Lego games for
They probably did.
Star Wars or for Rebels.
No, they did it for just Clone Wars, right?
No, they did. So I got a PSP from Chauncey. He gave me a PSP, an old school one that I could put the discs in and shit and stuff. And I was looking up games to buy. There's a Clone Wars game, and I was like, "Oh shit!" I was like, "I'm gonna get that, dude," because every PSP game is like fucking $10 and stuff. It's like, fuck yeah.
Do you guys remember that the first of the what's his name, the Salvatore novels with the Yuuzhan Vong, when Chewbacca dies, when the moons collide and he's evacuating the Solo kids? You guys remember that?
I do.
Mm-mm.
Very sad.
That's
how Chewie dies.
You remember the grief that you had over the knowledge that Chewbacca died in that way? Was that anything close to what you felt when Han Solo got skewered by Kylo Ren?
No.
Yes.
I'm not going to defend. I'm not going to defend them killing Han Solo the way he did.
Right. Ahsoka.
But it upset me. It upset me. I was very upset when Han Solo died. I was like, oh, they killed him. I was like, fuck.
I was outraged. I wasn't outraged when Chewie died. I was sad. When Han Solo died, I was outraged because it was ridiculous.
Well, I think that the difference is that I think that the people who are working on it right now are fans who are just as pissed off as we were about what happened. They're trying to do their best to make it better. I don't necessarily know that they can put the toothpaste back in the tube.
I think Nate's onto something with that, though. Like, Nate, I agree with you on that, like, a lot. That I really think that they're trying, but it's working with chains. You know what I'm saying? Because Josh is right too. They are doing things in spite. You know what I mean? Of like you said, it is widely known. It's been proven. You know that they've admitted it. You know what I mean? That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make their own version of it. You know, like that kind of thing. But the people I think that are at the helm of this really want to do something that we're gonna like, and it's just they're only given so much to do with it. You know, so and so maybe that's why I like it so much, because I'm like, fuck, dude, this is actually not that bad. Like I can follow it. I'm in. It didn't make me want to go see Rebels, but you know, like I did enjoy it. Like I was like, okay, I'm in. I'll watch the next season. I'm good. I'm ready.
I think we're living in a desert right now of Star Wars content, and we are grateful for drops of water that we might find like nestled among the cactus.
No, you know, we're in a desert of fucking Marvel movies and DC movies.
Too.
That's what that I think we're in a worse shape with those than we are with fucking Star Wars. Because Star Wars, at least they're really trying for.
There's a bunch of information this week about them rebooting the MCU.
Oh, God damn it.
Have you guys heard about that?
No.
It's like a soft reboot.
They should. They should, because I mean, like the idea is that they're gonna do it probably through like the Secret Wars or some shit, right? Like fucking everything gets put back together, and now it's starting over. God damn, this light sucks. There it goes. But so if I was in charge of Marvel right now, I would be going for something like I'm with the new Captain America. I have grown to like that guy as you know, I know, but I think he can do it. I think he can carry it. I think he'll do good. So I would stick with him. Miss Marvel, I would fucking I would bury those movies, dude. Like I would have pulled the fucking Batgirl and just not release this movie because it looks like shit. Did you notice the new trailers don't even show the other two Miss Marvels? Have you seen the new trailers for it? They cut them all out of it. So it's just Miss Marvel, fucking her like going on a mission. So like now they're selling it as that instead of it like all of them together and shit. So I was like, oh fuck. I started laughing. So I was like, I'd get rid of her. You know what I mean? And then bring in like I think Gunn was smart at the end of this last Guardians movie. He made another team of Guardians. You know what I mean? Like, and they were odd. They were, so like you were interested in seeing what would happen. The new Avengers that they're forming, no one cares about them. You know what I mean? These are characters that no one really cares about. So give us some good Avengers that we can care about. People want to see. You put Avengers on there, people will come, but make a good movie to make us keep coming back for. But that's the hard part. The idea of making a certain type of movie, right? Like, so the early MCU movies, like we talked about before, Captain America movies, the majority of them were like spy movies, right? It was just an espionage movie where Captain America happened to be in the middle of it and shit. Fucking Iron Man movies was man versus machine, like a person dealing with their own inner demons. That's the majority of his peak of those movies. So they're separate movies. They just they kind of tie in. And now they're making movies where they're trying to make them tie in, but not making them their own unique thing. You know what I mean? Where they could be standalone movies. That's what they need to get back to. That's the word from the Fuster.
I don't think you can undo the damage that's been done. I think it's pretty much the end of the road. I saw some projection from some I don't know, company that does projections for future movies, and they're saying that the Marvels is going to take in less than a third of its production cost.
I agree.
I don't see how the MCU can recover at this point. There's a lack of creativity, a lot of forced diversity, and a lot
they junked Daredevil too. Because it was starting not to be. They had filmed half of it. It was to be a
gritty.
Yeah, it's
It was supposed to be like darker, like the Netflix one, but just a little bit lighter. But now they're going to go like a different route.
Yeah, there's no part of the MCU that I'm looking forward to at all. Like even the one thing out of Phase 4 that I enjoyed, which is John Walker, even that part I don't think can generate any interest in me for future film projects. I just don't care. And that's the thing, is that I think that the greatest travesty for both Lucasfilm and Marvel Comics is just the amount of goodwill of the fans that they've burned on their pyre in order to achieve whatever their stupid end game is. I don't have any more benefit of the doubt for these people. I regard them as cultural enemies, and their content I expect to be something that's subversive and will undermine everything that I actually value.
They're not as bad as M. Night Shyamalan. You're making them sound that bad, but I mean, at least they do.
They're worse than Shyamalan, Fuzz.
No,
but
there's no one. The devil is less eviler than M. Night Shyamalan.
Unbreakable, dude.
That's the only one.
That's
Sign. Sign. I'll give it Sign.
Those two movies alone redeem the man.
No, they don't, because he made fucking The Village, and I'm telling you, I'm not joking. I was about to burn that fucking place to the ground. I was like, oh my, and the Happening, really? Pollen makes everyone go crazy. Pollen, that's the big twist. Shut the fuck up, dude. See, you're getting me hot. I don't want to be that way, dude. You know what I'm saying? I got to go to bed soon. I'm gonna be swinging in my sleep and shit, dude. It's gonna be bad.
Punching your wife.
Get it.
All right, Loki.
Oh, guess what though? Episode 4, when it comes out, the lady down the street from me wrote it, and so I was asking her if she would do like talk with us and stuff. So she's like, maybe. So if we do, you got to be nice. I don't know her name. She came to my yard sale and we were talking, and she saw I had comic books, and we started talking. She showed me like pictures of the set, and I was like, oh shit. She like did this one. She produced the first season of Loki. She did something else. I think the last Black Panther movie. So I thought of Josh right away. I was like, oh shit, dude, he's gonna fucking tear a new asshole.
No, look, so I am fully capable of being polite. I just think that the relevant questions that have to be asked are going to be too painful for most people to hear. I'm not.
No,
I wouldn't treat her with disrespect, but questions have to be asked. Like, did you even think about like the direction of Marvel Comics and where they're going and what they're doing to characters when you signed on for this project?
Well, I think she'll. I don't know. But I think what Nate was saying earlier than me, that it's just being tied down to only doing certain things. Like they care about what they're doing, but as a person that has worked, I haven't worked on anything like crazy like this. But even like when they're giving me like the prime example, they gave me a movie to watch one time. It was 3 hours long. It was an action movie with only 20 minutes of action. Okay, so they gave it to me blindly.
It's like
Watch
Moon Knight, right? 20 minutes of Moon Knight.
Yeah, exactly. Like it was, and so when they gave it to me, in my mind, I was going like, oh, they want me to like re-edit this, like make it shorter, like you know what I mean? Because it was 3 hours long. I was like, what the fuck, dude? Like this isn't an action movie. Like this is a drama, and a bad one at that. So I call the guy up and I go, okay. I go, I watched it. And he's like, well, what'd you think? I go, it's really fucking long, dude. Like, what do you want? What do you want me to do to it? He goes, oh, no, that's already been aired and people buying tons of DVDs of it. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah. And I go, okay. He goes, so we want to make a TV show out of this. And I was like, all right. And at the end of the movie, the main character gets a bullet hole right through the head, right there. Like close up, slow-mo, falls to the ground, he's dead. You know what I'm saying? Dead. But they want to make a TV show with him that picks up right afterwards. Like that was what they tell me that. And I said,
does he have a mullet?
No, he doesn't. So that's why I appreciate that character so much. Because that dude, they at least gave some sort of like tease of how because he has these lives. Like I was like, okay, there you go. They said it ahead of time. This guy that didn't say this, he's just a dude that his parents got gunned down by the fucking cartels, right? So then I'm sitting there for days. I'm trying to figure out how is he going to come back? Like he got shot in the head. And then at one point I just thought about it because it was literally coming to the deadline. And I just said, he wakes up. We're not going to even address it. We're just going to fight. He's going to have a scar on his fucking head, and we're not going to even address it. We're just going to fucking keep moving on as if,
Dude, I mean, shit happens. I've seen all kinds of stuff where people get like skewered through the head with like a javelin and it misses shit.
If you see how he dies, dude, he is dead, dude. It's the scene in every movie where the fucking guy takes the shotgun and it fucking blows out the back. Like he was dead. Like I was like, you can't bring that guy back. It hit the skull
and went over. And then blew the hair out the back.
Hey, remember what happened to Ed Norton at the end of Fight Club? Like that?
Right. But, okay.
No, remember what happened to Buttface from Preacher? Ask
Buttface.
He can survive.
But what I'm saying is that, like, to bring it back to the Loki and all that stuff, is that you're given these things a lot of times when you're hired. It's like, this is what we want, and you've got to give it to us. And then I have, me as a writer has to figure out how to make that happen. And I want it to be good. Like, no one writes anything hoping it sucks. You know what I mean? Like, that's the honest to God truth. Like, no one goes, I'm going to write the worst piece of shit I ever, in the world. Like, everyone tries to do it the best that they can.
I think that the last 4 years, I didn't come here trying to be Josh Jr., but I think the last 4 years there were some people that wrote some shit that they thought that they wanted to destroy shit. That they like I hate America and everything about it, and I've got I finally got myself a soapbox to stand on, and I'm going to do what I can to fuck up the world under the guise that I'm trying to make it be better and inclusive.
I think you're partially right, but I think the part about the soapbox, yeah, I agree with that. Like, I think that this time it empowered people, but at the same time, we as an audience were guilty of it because we made those things happen by other past things. Hollywood is nothing but a fucking what do you call them? They're worse than lemmings. They literally follow whatever the trend is, right? So if the trend is
cult.
Oh, whoa.
If it's a trend, they're going to go with it. So they saw all this stuff gaining popularity because of the ethnicity of it. So they said, okay, if that's working there, we're going to do it on all this stuff. And then they throw it all in, and then they gamble with it. Think back to Armageddon. You guys remember Armageddon, right? You know, Michael Bay. What came out that's
I think back to, you know what I find myself thinking back to a lot is Metropolis and Moloch and how they tried to fucking warn us, dude, and that shit's real.
But you
now instead of people thinking, instead of people actually knowing that they worship Moloch and trying to give them their children as offerings so that they can be prosperous, they just think that if they have children, they won't be prosperous, so they abort them, and Moloch's still getting what he wants.
This went dark. I was just trying to explain what happens, but like
it's all connected.
Well, so Fuzzy, I understand what you're saying, that people don't enter into this business or to put out terrible product. They believe that what they're doing is not only furthering their career and making the industry better, but it's also something that pushes forward whatever social or political ideas that they think are important. I get all of that. But what you're arguing for then is incompetence. Because at the end of the day, when you watch something like She-Hulk and you ask yourself the question, what's the benign, innocent explanation for this TV show? And the best thing you can come up with is that these people are idiots. Because the alternative is that they're malicious. And so we've gotten into a situation where, you know, people believe what they're doing is right when what they're doing is the opposite of right. You know, they call good evil and evil good. They call black white and white black. And they think that they're doing us all a service when they're burning the house down around us. And I, you know, like I said, with this friend of yours, this neighbor of yours that wrote Loki, you know, I'm not going to be cussing and swearing if we have a chance to talk to her even, and I don't even know if that's going to take place, but I'm not going to be cussing and swearing. But there are some big picture items that have to be addressed when you're dealing with what's going on in the industry, and in particular with Marvel, because like you guys said before, Marvel is in a pretty bad spot in its entirety, and signing on to be part of that project, knowing what they're doing, is already something that raises eyebrows.
The new Loki season is not that bad.
See, you're not selling it when you say, "Oh, that show, it's not that bad."
That's not bad at all.
That's not a ringing endorsement.
I'm enjoying it.
That's not what you would say about the new Mission Impossible movie. You don't go to see the new Mission Impossible and you're like,
I can't wait for that one.
It's not that bad. Or the new Top Gun, it's not that bad.
Top Gun was awesome.
It's awesome.
But you just made, the two things you just said had Tom Cruise, and that's what makes it awesome. So that's not fair. They can't put Tom Cruise in everything.
Because Tom Cruise comes from a former age when we thought differently and we lived differently. And so he still makes his movies like he's back from that time. But he's the last one.
No, he is. He's the last of it. I agree with that part. Yeah, he's very much the last. He's a one of a kind anymore. Like, you know, they don't make him like that. Like, he's a legit movie star. Like, you know, he put his name on something, people go. You know, they don't care. They're just gonna go see it. But I don't know, dude. Like that's part of the reason why sometimes when you get hired to do things, like you just look at what you're doing, and I mean. And we're not killing anybody, but you're just like, fuck, dude. Like, this is gonna be garbage. Like, I already know it's gonna suck, but let's see if we can fix it. You know what I mean? Let's do our best. And then just because you've given me a pile of shit, hopefully I can put some sprinkles on it and some whipped cream, and you know, make it look pretty at least, you know, like that. I think sometimes that's why like certain movies, when you guys are like, why'd you like that movie? I'm like, because it's a, you know, in my head I'm going like, it's a pretty shit, you know. Yeah, it's a piece of shit, but it's a pretty one, dude. Like that guy, they took their time, they did their best they could, you know what I mean? They gave it their all. Like I'm with that, dude. Like I like that. Like I'll give anyone props for doing that, dude, going out there and doing that. So, you know, and same to that, I think that's part of the reason why, like with Ahsoka, I did dig it, because I felt it, like it felt Star Wars. It felt like a Star Wars thing. Like it didn't feel like there was this, you know. I heard the hum of a lightsaber almost every episode. You know what I mean? There was some sort of fight, even though my only complaint, like my one complaint, was she was like slow. She would be like choom 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 choom, you know, like with the way that the one thing I liked about the prequels was like Anakin and all them, you know, when they're fighting, they're fucking going through it, you know, they're cutting people up, like it's fast, like you're like, oh shit, like these guys are badass. So she was just all like she was like the stoner version of it, like fucking just fucking get you, dude, like, you know, fucking whoa, dude, whoa. Like other than that, dude, like I loved it, like I had a good time with it.
I think
I got my money's worth
in both Marvel and in Star Wars. Like, I think that they haven't. Marvel isn't too far gone yet because they haven't murdered and ruined and like changed who Captain America, Iron Man, Hulk, and all of those characters fundamentally are, and gone against script with them. They've put out some stinkers, and I think hopefully, if they can learn anything from the shenanigans over at Star Wars land, then they can write that shit before it fucking goes off the rails too hard. And as far as Star Wars goes, you know, I really think that, like, put it this way, if they were to come to me and be like, hey, Nate, we want you to do it. Can you write something? Then I'd be like, you know, I would try to incorporate the vast other cool things from Star Wars that are out there. And then if you're handcuffed with trying to keep it, to smash it into what exists already, you got to do that, you know, within that constraint. And, you know, you're trying to still be a fan. I don't think anybody is, you know, I think my level of betrayal, I mean, I say that I know what it feels like to be raped now because of my childhood being stolen from me in The Last Jedi. So, you know, I'm
That's how I felt with Fast X, so I'm just throwing that out there. But
you didn't feel that way.
oh, you have no idea, dude. I'll bring my
you obviously have no idea because you didn't grow up as a kid wanting to be. You're not.
I
young
wanted
enough,
to be Dominic Toretto.
but you.
I have shirts with the sleeves cut off, and I'd walk around telling people life is lived a quarter mile at a time, dude. You know what I mean? That's what I did. Ask Havoc. Havoc's been with me. I've thrown the e-brake on and just fucking whipped that bitch like that and Havoc.
From the age of 2 until the age of 8, during your formative years, Dominic Toretto was your hero.
No, man, I'm talking about the years of me banging chicks in my car and going like, I bet you Dominic Toretto was fucking doing. That's what formed me. Look at this.
If I compartmentalize this,
look at that
and
shit.
think
That's
of you, your
your
funniness and your fuzziness, and your goal to entertain us, then I'll accept what you're saying. But but I'm not going to let you belittle my trauma with your jokes.
Hey,
because
I was just saying.
But the fuck, I fucking was like, I felt like I took a 23andMe and I went home, and then the next day they said, "Hey, your dad's a fucking serial killer, and we're gonna go arrest him because of the information we got from your 23andMe. We know that you're his son, and we're gonna go get him now." And then everything you know and all of your values and everything in life is all bullshit. It's an illusion now. We have rewritten all of these. It's just the level of just stripped and Like I didn't even like when it happened. Like I was in too much shock.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't even know how violated I was until it like set in over a couple days. I was like, did that? Am I? Is that blood? Like, it took me like 6 days before I was taking the proper rape shower.
I'm, I understand because after I watched that movie, I was numb because I thought, I believed, I had hope that Disney was going to rescue Star Wars, that they were going to make it amazing again. And when they did The Last Jedi, that was the end. That was the literal end. After that, everything else was just bitterness. There was nothing left. I mean, I kind of knew the night that I saw it how bad it was because I had told a close friend of mine when he asked me what I thought, and I said, I feel like I watched, a long time, very dear friend of mine die of cancer right in front of me. And those words have proven all the more true over time that the destruction that happened is so like final and irrevocable. You just can't go back. It's one of those things. I used to watch the Star Wars movies, the original trilogy, like twice a year, minimally. I haven't watched the original trilogy in years, just because I recognize that they're great films, but they're tainted now. They're tainted. Star Wars is a tainted franchise. It hurts like deep in the soul that like something that was so glorious has been taken from us, and either it was taken away because it's malicious, like these are people that are laughing in their boardroom.
Like they hate us. Like what can we do to hurt Gen X as much as possible?
Or they care so little about it that they did this, and they're like, it's just like it's.
I'm gonna tell you guys something real scary. You ready?
Go for it.
And I'm with you guys. Last Jedi was horrible. I walked out of there as mad as I was when I saw Lord of the Rings. So I was pissed. Okay. Now but I'll never forget this. It was about 3 months ago. Okay. And I'm at the Upland show that I do once a month, right? And we have all these we got Star Wars figures and shit laid out, right? And this couple comes in and they're fucking Star Wars out. Maybe 21. Okay, we'll say they're like 21, maybe like 29 or 19 to 21, we'll say. And they come in and fuzzy. I'm like, hey man, how's it going, guys? We're talking, we're talking, man. They're like, oh, I see you love Star Wars. You see, she's like, yeah, she wanted one of the Kylo Ren figures, right? And I'm like, oh, dude, well, yeah, we got that. We grab it and we give it to her. And she goes, she's like, I love the new Star Wars. Like, she was like just praising it. She's like, the best one is The Last Jedi. It's the great, like she was praising it as if how much I love Pulp Fiction. Like she was just like waxing intellectual about it. And I'm just staring at her and I go, I have to disagree, like I'm not the one. She goes, I know. She goes, the Star Wars world is divided into, she's like, you could tell generations. She's like, the younger generations really enjoyed those, like that's their Star Wars. And us, like, we could barely handle the prequels, let alone all this new shit. You know what I mean? Like it just got, like you said, it got worse and worse for us. But there is a generation out there that's going to look upon ours and think that one was garbage. That's the crazy shit. That's the shit that blows up because they're just different. Like,
The thing is that,
and that's why, as much as I fear World War III, fuck those kids.
I would go that
blow them up. Hopefully, my son,
my
son, he's my only son, so he gets to not get drafted, and I got the rest daughters. But the rest of them, and my son loves real Star Wars too. So that should be the fucking draft test. Like I'm fucking shaking over this. Like fuck those. Like they should go back through your social media. If you're just like, if you don't fucking toe the line, than cannon fodder they ass, and they need a nice tragedy to get us fucking back in line. We've been too
I feel like I'm
prosperous.
watching the Joker's video about why he's gonna destroy Gotham and shit.
I'm not going to destroy anything. Gotham's destroying itself.
Here's the thing. Art is not subjective. Art is not in the eye of the beholder. There are things that actually are great about art. The problem is by and large, not entirely, but by and large, the younger generation was not taught the value of things in the past. That's why they tear down statues. It's why they ignore history. It's why they burn down, historic franchises in film. It's why the comic book industry is upside down. It's all related to the same thing. They hate their parents. And they hate their history. They hate their background. And therefore, they approach all of the things that we ought to share as a cultural norm. They approach it with malice. And so when I had somebody at a Target one time tell me to my face that The Last Jedi is the best Star Wars movie. And as you would imagine, it's a guy.
Hit him.
It's a guy with painted fingernails. He's talking with a lisp. He has rainbow-colored hair. He's got piercings all over his face.
And you grabbed the magnet and went by his head like this?
There is a type. There is a kind of man that doesn't know what it means to be a man, and he embraces The Last Jedi. And then there is a kind of man who knows what it means to be a man, and he embraces the original trilogy. That's the dividing line. There are those that have abandoned all of the foundational principles of civilization. They love Disney Star Wars. And those that recognize that there was a time in this country in the 1980s when you were free to say and do what you wanted and nobody was going to talk back to you, they're the ones that love the original stuff. And yeah, it might be generational, but there is a right and wrong. There is an objective standard to these things that we can appeal to. And the younger generations won't even make that argument because they got nothing. They just love laser swords and spaceships.
I like laser swords and spaceships.
I know you do, Fuzz.
God, make me hate myself.
I'm just saying, brother. I'm just saying, don't lower your standards because you're desperate.
I know, and if anything, you guys know, I'm very honest. If something upsets me, I mean, how much was I praising Cocaine Bear before it came out? And when it came out, I was the first one to tell you guys. I said, "Fuck, dude, I fucked up." I will always admit, when Fuzzy does wrong, I go, "Fuck, dude, you know what? Dude, I was right." 'Cause I'm not always right, but I always appreciate things. Again, I like to look at things like if I'm watching, I go, I can see what they're trying to do. You know what I mean? Like I remember watching Justice League, right, in the theater. When I saw it in the theater, and I was going like, "Fuck, dude, this is bad." Like I was feeling like you guys. Like I'm like, they didn't even try. Like this was just horrible. But I knew there was things missing. Like you could tell there was something more that was supposed to be done and stuff. And then when you got the 3-hour long thing, I was like, "Oh, this is a lot better." It's longer. It's a little bit more, but. Okay, this is what he was going for.
They need to be like, "Hey, you're gonna work on this. You're gonna work on this. I don't know, this thing, Thundercats. Call it Thundercats. You want to be the guy who works on Thundercats, Mr. Vargas? Why do you love it?"
Nope, I won't. I will never. I don't care what they pay me, and this is the God's honest truth, dude. No matter what they pay me, I would not do it. I would literally do a
Okay, so maybe it's not you.
Right. No,
whoever they do choose, because there should be a long line of people wanting to do that thing.
But
and the person
not.
And they can't be 20.
There's not a lot of people that want to do it because of the fact that you could make or break your career with it. I mean, I'm telling you, when I was talking to James Wan, right? When I was this close to doing something with him, we did this commercial of a horror video game that he did, and that's how I met him. And we were talking, and we got along. And he was in the talking of doing Aquaman. And I was busting his balls about it because I was like, "Oh, dude, you're gonna make Aquaman, dude? Like, Jesus Christ, dude! Like, that's got to be the hardest fucking job." You know, like, we were having a good time about it, and he liked my idea. I wrote it. We were talking about getting it going. We were in pre-production, it's pre-production, like talking to people, would they be interested, kind of thing. And he got it. He got Aquaman, and he's like, "Dude, I'm gonna be gone. I'm going to do this," I think it was like 6 months or something like that. And I was like, okay. I'm like, so my movie now is thrown on the shelf, you know what I mean? And I'll never forget the phone call I got. He called me and he goes, he was almost done with the first director's cut. So like when you make a movie, you, like it's in your contract that if you direct a movie, it's usually you get a month. So you have a month to put together a director's cut where the studio and no one can come in and tell you what they think. It's like that's part of the union thing, is that you get your director's cut. And after that, they get to come in and do what they want to the movie and stuff. And that's what happens a lot of times, right? So he did the director's cut and they gave him like bad notes. And he was like, "You know what, dude?" He goes, "We better hurry up and try to make your movie, because if we don't, it's not going to be, it's going to ruin his name and shit like that." Like, directors don't want to do superhero movies anymore, especially because if you make a bad one, you're fucked. Like that's what you're, and if you have no control over it, like if you go, when Warren Beatty made Dick Tracy back in the 90s, right? He had free reign. And that's why every character looked like one of the comic book guys. You know what I mean? Like that's he was able to do that. No one was arguing with him about it. You know what I mean? Like Tim Burton had this deal.
And do you think it was good?
I enjoyed it. I like Dick Tracy.
And people who people who looked at Dick Tracy with the reverence that some of us look at Luke Skywalker with, like the job that he did with it.
Right, and that's
he went into it with the passion of having a chance to do something that he was influenced by during his formative years.
Right.
So, but when you if you were to get me to, at 25 years old, make a movie about James Hetfield, I would be like, fuck yeah, this is still, I love Metallica. But if you were to, at 25, tell me that, hey, you're going to make a movie about Chubby Checker, I would just be doing my best to think about what history has left over about what, oh, he did the twist. And it's just, it would be a movie about people doing twists all the time. And I wouldn't understand that the twist had nuance to it. And it came from them doing the jigaboo dance down by the Charleston at the soda fountain. I would be missing something. But I know you know what I'm saying.
No, I get what you're saying, but
when you got something that's got people's heart in it, you got to get people working on it. They got heart in it too. And the reason why it's fucked and people wouldn't want to do it, it's because they weren't letting people who were passionate about it really do it in the first place.
Right.
Yeah, that's the truth. I agree with that. Like that's, you have to, when you make a movie, you're going to war. Like it's a battle. You're fighting elements of everything. Producers, you're fighting everything. So you have to truly love what you're doing. You know what I mean? I don't know what happened to Havoc. I think he passed out and his phone died.
So let me ask you this, Fuzzy. This is just a hypothetical question. Let's just say, for example, that you were tapped to do the next Fast and Furious movie, right? You love the franchise. You love the characters. They're going to say, hey,
he got it. This is a nerve. I saw the face change.
This is the thing that you can do to extend the franchise, to bring the passion back, to do whatever. What happens if you get into that project and you're basically done, and then they're going to start chopping it up, or they're giving you terrible orders that totally ruin what you're doing? What happens if you just tell them, go blow, and you walk away and tell them you fix it, and then you go on social media and blast them to hell, what happens?
You're blackballed.
Blackballed
Pretty
by
much.
the studios that are ruining it?
Well, I mean, no one wants to work with you after that. Like a lot of times, like I can honestly admit this. A lot of times, the reason why I don't get certain jobs is because I am a tough person to work with, because I am passionate about it. Like, you know, like I do argue with it. So I don't get a lot of fucking people don't want to do business with me because they want to have their 10 cents in. And I go, and that's part of the reason why I don't mind. I almost in my head rather have like you call me and go, hey, can you write this script for me? Because then it's not mine. You know what I mean? Then it's someone else's fucking deal, and I'm just trying to help them get to where they need to be. When I write something that like I want to make, you know, that's when I'm passionate. Like, all right, let's go. Like right this weekend, I got a call from a couple of my buddies, and now that everything's kind of, you know, getting back to starting to look like it's getting back to normal, they were like, what do you got? And I pitched them a bunch of ideas, but they're big, you know, and so they were like, well, and then I brought up the Greg the Hammer Valentine, doing a thing about him, because now we're friends with him, and they liked it because we could actually tell a story, you know, and do it through the eyes of a fan. You know what I mean? Like through me, like someone that has known him and how I saw him originally, you know what I mean? And how he tells the story. Like, you know, I had to have this whole thing planned out how we're going to do it. And everyone's down to do it. So like, I'm going to be passionate about it. So I'm going to do this pretty much for free. You know what I mean? Greg's going to do it for free. You know, like we're all doing this because we want to do it. So I think that's going to come across on the film when you see these movies, these big movies now, everyone's doing it for a paycheck. You know, that's what it is. What do you need me to do? Okay, I'll fill this out. I'll do this.
Well, so my question revolves around this. Given that we know the market weakness and the financial weakness and the fan base weakness that the Walt Disney Company is currently under, if somebody signed on to do a project for Marvel or for Lucasfilm, and they were really passionate about the material, they wanted to do something that honored the original content that everybody loved, and then, you know, in traditional Walt Disney fashion, the company steps in and starts twisting things around and changing it to be more woke. If that person took a stand, you know, cut ties in the middle of the project and went on social media and basically like laid down the details of all of the shenanigans that went on the project that they were going to do versus the project that the company was trying to put together.
They can go work for the Daily Wire with Gina Carano.
But the thing is that like, yeah, Disney would blackball them, but at this point, so what? So what? That company is on the way down in a bad way, and it kind of seems to me like this is the right time for creative people to get involved in passion projects with these companies, and then when they're told to twist it outside of that passion parameter, this is the time for them to stand up and say, oh, hell no, these people are crazy. You know what I mean? And just say, look, if I'm going to work on a Thundercats film, I'm going to do my due diligence to research the hell out of it, to understand all the parts of it, and to make that thing the best Thundercats movie I do. And if Mickey Mouse comes in and tells it, no, it has to be about, you know, black women or what, you know, whatever it is, then you can get in there and just basically say, no, I'm not doing this shit. Here's your project. And then you go on social and you just lay it down and say, this is the kind of people that I'm working for. These are their names. This is what they were saying.
Well, I think that they probably have legal recourse against you besides just firing you. They can probably sue you.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's go to court. Let's get discovery. Let's put it all out there so people can see it, and then really see what kind of people these companies are full of. This would be the time for somebody to take that stand and basically to knock down Disney once and for all, and show the industry what balls really look like.
Yeah, because Generation V showed us what balls look like literally.
Thanks for that, Nate.
Well, but that's, you know, People are just desperate for jobs. Like, you know what I mean? There's not, like we were talking about Tom Cruise, you know what I mean? Like he's the last of a few. There's, as far as like writers and directors and stuff, there's not like that anymore either. Like Spielberg's probably the last one. You know what I mean? Like he's literally legitimately like one of the last guys that can be like, I'm gonna make this movie. No one questions it. They're okay. Here's, we'll give you whatever you need.
Well, I think James Cameron's like that too.
Oh yeah, well, but Cameron, to me, he just goes and makes his own. Like he doesn't need a studio. He pays for it himself. You know what I mean? Like Spielberg can walk into any studio and just be like, because like a lot of times when you see Spielberg do stuff for like Warner Brothers or something like that, it's because they bought a script that he really liked, and so he'll be like, okay, I'll come and do it, and then they just say, okay, here, take whatever money you want because they know they're gonna make money. Like the Fablemans, the last one that he made. That came out, which is awesome, guys. If you haven't seen it, check it out. But that was a passion project of his. You know what I mean? Like that was a big time passion project of his, and it didn't do great. He didn't make a lot of money off of it, but he did it just to do it. And no one, not one time did you hear anything in the news about how it didn't make its money back, or no one badmouthed it. Everyone just liked it, and it went away. You know what I mean? It's gone. It's when you have a lot on the line, like a Marvel movie or one of those things. That's when you're under a microscope being watched all the time, and you have to sign NDAs, like crazy. Like again, when I've been brought into stuff, I've had to sign stuff, and that's that last one I just did. They did the same thing.
Rules written by demons should not be kept. I'm just saying, you got people that have bad intent, and they have bad intent, and they want you to sign on to some rules. I don't think we have any moral obligation to honor anything that they say. Nothing. And the reason that the industry is in the state that it's in is because we believe we do have to honor it. And we're not playing by the same rules. They've broken the social contract years ago. They don't honor anything that we like. Why are we going to honor the things that they ask? If they're dumb enough to hire us because they know that we're good, then they should get the full Monty. Isaac made the comment that something like that is never going to happen. That's why we're going to get more She-Hulk. That's why we're going to get more Marvels. That's why we're going to get more boring ass Mandalorian where they change the casting. That's why we're going to get more of all of this stuff, because nobody will stand up and say no. We need somebody to stand up and say no. It's way past time. And we just need somebody of courage to go in there, to take that money, to sign those documents, and then when they come in with their craziness, to just go public and put them on blast. Wreck them.
Well, if I was cool enough, I'd do it for you, because I don't want to do it no more. But they ain't gonna ever let Fuzzy into any one of those doors, dude.
Knights of Badassdoms on Amazon Prime.
Awesome.
All right, cool.
And then, where is Zombieland? I have Zombieland.
I think it's on Netflix. It's either Netflix or HBO. So I swear I saw it the other day.
Well, we own a copy of Zombieland as well, so it's not going to be hard for us to do.
Just let it be dead there, though. Zombieland 2.
Zombieland 2 is all right.
I haven't seen it.
It's all right.
It's all right, but Zombieland is great.
Yeah.
Yes.
So when you go from great to all right, you might as well just left it at great.
Like Ghostbusters 2. It's all right.
Is Vigo?
Yeah.
I'm looking to get a Vigo the Carpathian painting.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. I'm all about that. I'm all about
that too.
You have the buzzing of flies to him.
If you get that, that's dope. But let's remember the pink slime. Let's remember the walking Statue of Liberty. Just a terrible movie.
Your love.
That's about to say, lifting me higher than I've ever been lifted before.
That movie came out when I was in 8th grade, and I was looking forward to it so much, and it was the first time in my life when a movie that I had anticipated that I went to go see was so underwhelming that it made me sad. And I'm just a kid, you know, but I knew this is nothing like the first one. Not even close.
RoboCop 3 was that way for me. That one really fucked me up when I saw that one.
Is that the one where he flies?
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
that was it. Because it wasn't Peter Weller, you know what I mean? Like his voice was weird and fucking like I was like, what the hell is this, dude?
When I saw the trailer for that, even as a kid, I was like, oh, I'm not going to watch that. I knew.
I liked RoboCop too. I loved when they had that commercial for the car system where somebody stole the car.
Yeah.
And it like electrocuted them and threw their crispy body out of the car. I love that.
Yeah.
No, I like the whole concept of the second one that it was the Kane or whatever the other robot was.
Yeah.
Fucking that he survived on the drug. You know what I mean? So he was like, you know, like that's how he got his power. I was like, that's dope, dude. Like, so you got to kill the drug dealers to get your food. Like, that's, you know, smart and shit. I like that. But the voice bugged the fuck. Like, that was the first thing I noticed in part 3. I was like, because, you know, he's got that distinct voice where he's like, drop it, you know, and shit like that.
Yeah.
And when he did it in this one, this guy was like, what the fuck? Like, that doesn't sound.
You're coming with me.
Yes, dude. That's insane.
Here's the worst voice change ever, though. Okay, or either you agree or you're wrong. Okay, Buck Rogers in the 25th century. We're all of the age to where we watch that show, right? Twiggy, little silver robot with the penis head.
Yeah.
Did you see in the next season they didn't have Mel Blanc doing his voice anymore? His voice went literally to like a squeaky girl voice.
I didn't even notice that. I don't remember that.
Dude, if you didn't notice it, look it up when you can. Because Aaron Gray, dude. Wilma Darling. Oh, you guys don't even know.
I remember her from Silver Spoons.
Oh,
Silver fucking Spoons.
She was the most beautiful woman in the 70s and 80s that there ever was.
Speaking of,
she was even hotter than the mom from Poltergeist.
Ooh, that's a big one from Nate right there. Somebody got to make a clip of that. Speaking of terrible voice changes, I saw a clip online talking about Darth Maul, the voice of Darth Maul from The Phantom Menace, and then the one who did the voice for Darth Maul in the Clone Wars, and how there's a big change between the two. And I didn't know this, but the guy who did the voice for Darth Maul in Phantom Menace is the roommate in Shaun of the Dead, the one that tells him to sort out his life. That guy is the voice of Darth Maul in Phantom Menace. And he was actually invited to a Star Wars event. And at the last minute, Lucasfilm canceled on him to get the guy who did the voice from the cartoon for Darth Maul to come in. And when you listen to the two of them, the Darth Maul in the cartoon does not sound menacing at all. In Phantom Menace, he was full of malice. And that guy's voice is like perfect for it. And like the creative decisions that are being made are just insane.
The guy who they had voice him in the cartoon, he's pretty legit. He was the guy who they
that's Sam Witwer. He's fucking badass.
Sam Witwer. Yeah. He was Star Killer in the video games.
I played those.
I'm not saying that he was better than the original one.
It wasn't as good as the original.
Well, what's better than the original?
What, the 2 seconds that the original was? What are we talking about?
The original voice actor for Darth Maul from Phantom Menace.
That's not Ray Park speaking.
Right.
That's not Ray Park speaking those lines in the Phantom Menace.
They did the same thing to Darth Maul that they did to Darth Vader. They got somebody with a better...
I'm saying that Darth Maul, the 2 lines that he did in Phantom?
Yeah, 2 or 3 lines, whatever it is, yeah.
Master will destroy the Jedi. Master will have our revenge. Dude. Will McDeering.
Look at this guy.
Nate.
Dude, Aaron Gray was a smoke show, man.
Yeah, she was pretty.
Nope. No one has it. No one takes the cake more than Jennifer Connelly in the 80s and 90s, baby. Career opportunities. Look up career opportunities.
Well, Jennifer Connelly's gorgeous.
Oh yeah, Jennifer Connelly, career opportunities.
I still think she looked best in The Rocketeer.
Oh yeah, no. Oh, dude. Oh god. That my family has a name for her, and it's politically incorrect. So I'm gonna say it on the show because I know I can.
Yes.
We called her Big Tit. We called her Big Tit Conley because fucking those are the most beautiful boobs I've ever seen on a woman. There's a great movie out there floating
On a woman?
called. No, there's a great movie out there floating around called Mulholland Falls.
Oh yeah, I seen that one.
And the opening sequence, Jennifer Connelly, butt ass naked.
Coleman Cave.
But that one movie, I'll agree with you, Comic Cave. But she's butt naked, and John Malkovich is trying to bang her, and just titty galore. I remember being in the theater, just like, I don't care what
You remember Jennifer Connelly in Requiem for a Dream?
Oh yeah, that was her downhill slope where I was like, oh, this is a little
That
too
was
dirty
brutal.
for me. That was a little
Requiem
too
for a
dirty
Dream
for
was
me.
one of those movies that at the
That was
end, one
great.
of those ones at the end where you're just like,
That movie was crazy.
wow.
That's one of the few artsy fartsy movies that I really liked. Like where I was like, this is a good movie. Like this is a legit good movie.
I'll be back.
Yeah, watching that's like, yeah, you don't fuck around with drugs, bro.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I'm not. You know what? I'll just stick to drinking. Yeah.
That one and Basketball Diaries. Those were the two movies where I was like, oh, I never want to touch that shit. Fuck that.
Yeah, I have two movies on my list that made me loathe humanity, and that was 7 and 8 millimeter.
Oh, 7 was so good.
Seven's so good.
I'm not saying it's a bad movie. I'm just saying at the end of it, you understood why humanity probably needs to be scraped off the earth.
Oh yes. No, you're right. You're right. But goddamn, that movie is good.
And it's the same with 8 millimeter. 8 millimeter was so gnarly of a film. I walked out of there and I was like, I should just walk off a cliff right now, just straight up.
No, but those are movies that are like fucking. I wish I could come up with ideas like that because they made you feel something. You know what I mean? Like you walked out of there just like, and it wasn't like your typical Hollywood smile. You know, fucking. It's like when you walked out of there, like I remember my dad woke up like screaming after seeing 7 because he kept having nightmares of the dude that was chained to the bed. Like he kept having nightmares of that shit. And like the brilliance of 7, like this is what I've always told people. Like if you watch that movie, right? You never see the killings.
No.
Ever. Not one scene you see him killing people. It's always the aftermath. And they're explaining to you what happened, right? That he had to cut a pound of flesh off of him and weigh it. You know what I mean? Your brain is going through what they're telling you, and it's scarier than anything that they could have put on the screen. You know what I mean? So that's what creeps you out when you watch that movie. Is like you're going like, oh my God, you're just like the cop. Like you're hearing everything. What happened, and, you know, finally when he gets to see, you know, when he gets to John Doe's apartment, the box was fucking. When that happened, I was like, oh no way! Like again, me as a kid watching it, like I wasn't the greatest at figuring out movies, but I still was pretty good. You know, like I could figure out what the plot was. I didn't see that shit coming. Like not fucking a mile away when it happened. I remember yelling, "Oh shit! He killed him! He fucking killed him!"
That was a good film.
Oh yeah, that was a great film. There's one if you guys ever get bored. Speaking of like predicting the future and shit.
Gilbert Grape? Is that Johnny? That's a Johnny Depp one, right?
Johnny Depp and
I hate that movie. I love it, but I hate
too,
that
right?
movie. Yeah,
I think so. Right? Yeah.
Dude, I'm in a movie theater watching What's Eating Gilbert Grape. And anytime Leonardo DiCaprio was on there, I was laughing my ass off too. Like I couldn't stop laughing. And it comes to the part of the end of the movie where he sees his mom dead, and he walks over to her, and you're all sad because you know she's dead and shit like that. But the next thing that comes out of his mouth had me dying. He just because it came out of nowhere. He's like, "Mom, are you hiding?" I started laughing so hard in the theater, and all I saw was people's heads like turn to me like this, like just like in disgust, because I'm fucking laughing my ass off. I had to leave the theater and shit like that because they were gonna jump me. Yeah, with Eating Gilbert Grape.
You are a horrible, horrible person.
I know.
That half a brain.
You're a horrible, horrible person.
That's not the half we share.
That's so,
You are
like legit.
a horrible
There was
person.
like 3 movies that I would rent to just like and like would just get me in a good mood. And What's Eating Gilbert Grape is one of them. Like I used to watch that just because I love Army. Like I thought that shit was so funny. Like he was just be like, firecrackers on the bus go boom 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 boom.
You are an awful person.
So you're the kind of guy that gets cheered up by making fun of retarded people?
I didn't make fun of him. He did it, and it was humorous. I didn't sit there and say nanny, nanny, nanny. It was fucking funny, like the way that you're like, you know what I mean? Like that's the difference. You know what I'm saying? Like I find that shit hilarious. That's why I get yelled at all the time. My brother-in-law has special needs, and we go to fucking these parties. And he has like 1 or 2 friends that'll fucking
That's the big thing.
out.
That's the big thing is that they want to be made fun of. They don't want you to tease them and all that stuff, but they do want you to realize that they are people, and they do laugh and they do make jokes, and everybody spends their time tiptoeing around them and whatnot. Then
I love you, Comic Cave. Dude, like
Timmy from South Park, the comedian.
Oh, dude,
Timmy.
No, Timmy's
Timmy.
the other one.
Oh.
there's this one comedian that always pops up on my feed, and my wife punches me every time he does because he talks about his brother that has special needs, and he's like,
I don't know if he's sneezing or if he's
I'm laughing. He goes, my brother, he goes, motherfucker, motherfucker. And that shit kills me every time.
You're getting canceled tomorrow.
I
You're getting canceled by midnight. Don't worry about it. That is fuzzy with the F. That's a fuzzy. At whatnot. That's not make havoc for anybody else. That's a fuzzy.
Oh my god! He talks about how his brother will get like mad and he'll imitate him, and like my brother-in-law is nothing like that. Like he honestly, in my mind, he's very he doesn't do anything, but he has friends that'll fucking just like blurt out shit, and it's the whole idea that it comes out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Like it's just random. Like you're like, what the fuck was that? And then like you giggle, you're like laughing, and then I told you guys about the screening I went to with Best Buddies, which is a whole theater and full of people with special needs. And
that was with the basketball movie.
No, Ferdinand, the Bull movie with John Cena. Because we thought we were going to meet John Cena. We were like, oh, let's go, and he wasn't there, so we were sad. But we went in as the lights went down. He's too busy
kissing China's ass.
As the lights went down, dude, I literally all I heard was, huh. And then in the corner I heard, Mar. And in the other corner I heard, hey. It was like an opera of people making noises. I started fucking laughing, and my mother-in-law turns to me. She's like, "You need to get the fuck out of here." And I was like, "I'm gone. I'm fucking gone." I was like, I can't help it. Again, I'm not making fun of nobody. It's just the fact that I was just like, one person made a noise and the other one had to make a noise and then the other one had to make a noise.
We're going to hell, Fuzzy. We're going to hell.
You know, it always reminds me of the movie Something About Mary and Matt Dillon's character trying to get with Mary, and he knows that she works with special needs people.
Her brother is special needs. Her brother is. I love those juicy bastards.
Oh,
That's such
What is it? What did he say? I love retards.
Yeah, I love those juicy bastards. So you're just like, oh man.
or what was that movie with Johnny Knoxville where he was pretending to be one so he could compete?
That's one of the greatest movies ever, The Ringer, dude. That's one of the greatest movies ever.
That was
it.
a horrible. That was, besides him being that, it was horrible.
No, that has so much heart in it, dude. Like it's so good. Like it's such a good movie. Like the best line ever. When the fuck did we get ice cream?
We live in a time where
Is that the movie with
Yes.
Katherine Heigl in it? And she's like, they've been missing for so long. Oh, well, we had to stop and get ice cream. And one of them learns, oh, when did we get ice cream?
But it's the way he
Frankie
said
B.
it.
Frankie
It
B.
fucking kills me. He's like, because she's like, where were you? Oh, we had to go, fucking get, we went and saw this movie, and then afterwards we went out to get ice cream, and everyone's like trying to play along, and the one guy just blurts out, the fuck do we get ice cream? Like the straightest fucking way.
I love that scene. Oh my gosh.
No, dude,
but we live in a time where we've been robbed of this particular joy, this particular comedy, because we're so overly concerned about not offending people or being overly sensitive or something. We've allowed people who are easily offended to rule over us.
Well,
The last movie for me that was that kind of type of movie was Tropic Thunder.
Yeah.
After that,
Yeah, I think Tropic Thunder would be a good one to do a watch party on.
That's a funny movie. But I'm saying, there's no way you could do that movie right now.
And who's in that movie? Tom Cruise. Just throwing it out there.
His best roles ever. One of his
I was
best.
going to dress up like him for Halloween this year.
Les
Les
Grossman.
Grossman.
The best scene, dude, is when he's talking to the fucking. We got the fucking whatever the buddy, whatever his name is, the fucking the special whatever the character's name, his Forrest Gump character. It wasn't Simple Jack. He's like, we have Simple Jack. You can take him and fuck yourself with it. Just the way he said it. It's like, yes, dude.
Yeah, he makes up the phone. He's like, we don't negotiate with terrorists, and everyone's like,
I didn't realize that was Tom Cruise until the second scene that he was in, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
I didn't realize the first time into the movie.
The first time you see him, he's on a video conference, and he's like, "Where's the grip or whatever?" And he goes, well, I need you to walk over there and punch him in the face. And he walks over, he's all sad, and he's like, "Sorry," and like punches, plays him out.
That's a great fucking theory. That I'm down to do a watch party on that.
That movie's great.
Yeah, that one's funny.
But I mean, you can't even do that movie now, and that's not even that old.
Yeah.
I remember Josh walking down we went to go see a different movie, and we were walking down the hallway, and they have the movie posters up, and he looks over, and he goes, "Tropic Thunder." He goes, I wonder what that's about. He goes, "Who's that actor? I don't recognize that actor." I went, "That's fucking Robert Downey Jr." And he's like, "No, it's not." And I'm like, "Yeah." And I went like this. I just covered him up and just showed him his eyes. He's like, "Oh shit, that's Robert Downey Jr."
I'm the man.
We're fucking seeing this movie. Robert Downey Jr.
I'm the man.
No, I think Jack Black though is underrated in that movie, but going through withdrawals and shit. Like when he's fucking just.
I like jelly beans. So you can have my jelly beans. That spat gets it.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah. So good.
But even the speech, Like the speech where he's telling him about going full retard. He's like, "You went full retard, man. Like you went full. You can't go full." That's one of the best dialogue scenes like ever. Where I'm just like, "Oh, that's so good, that's so good."
What's the black guy's name in that? The actual black guy's name in that?
You mean the actor? Or
No,
the
the
character he plays?
character.
He was
Oh,
selling
it's-
booty juice.
Yeah,
Because I like
Booty
when he
juice,
like
that's
gets
right.
on his ass when he gets on the guy Robert Downey Jr.'s character's ass about stuff. He's like, "Okay, Crocodile Dundee," and he's like, "That man's a national treasure." And then he's like, "Okay, Kangaroo Jack," and he starts hopping around. So like, if you watch throughout the movie, it's not just that scene. It's like if you watch in the background, you see him hopping around like a kangaroo in like multiple parts of that movie. Hilarious. You're just like, oh man, little things like that made that movie so good. Mother Nature just shit her pants. He blows up the forest.
Or no, when the dude blew up, that's the other part that I remember just fucking dying when the guy blows up. And he's like, "Look, it's props."
I don't know. And then he says that man ain't playing God. He's being judged by him.
He ain't playing, God.
Oh man, that's a good one.
So, what's
That
your
was-
Halloween movie going to be, Nick?
I've been thinking about it. I'm trying to find it. The only one that I can honestly think of where I'm like, Liz is gonna shit her pants is The Conjuring. So I'm gonna pick The Conjuring.
I'll watch that one.
Damn it! I'm trying to get one that I want to see Liz go. No, I don't want to watch it.
I don't want to watch that one, but but it's not Wolf Creek. It's not Saw. You know what I mean? Those are the movies that I don't
Wolf
like.
Creek's an Australian one, right?
Fuck
Yeah.
that movie. Fuck that movie.
That movie's rough.
I think that's the movie that I legit think that's the movie that broke me. I think.
Do you
that's the
know?
movie-
You want to know something crazy? That was supposed to be made by Quentin Tarantino.
Really?
Like that was his movie. He came out. He wrote it. That's why I think he produced it. He ended up producing it, but he was gonna make that movie. Like that was gonna be one of his movies that he made, was Wolf Creek. And I was like, I remember reading about it years before it came out, and I was like, he's gonna do what? Like, you know, 'cause I think he'd only done Pulp Fiction and like Reservoir Dogs. Like those were his two ones that he directed. And so I was like, this is gonna be his next movie. Like this sounds crazy as shit, dude. But then now I'm older and he's got one movie left. I'm like, give us a horror movie, dude. Like, come on, man. Like that tail end of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is fucking amazing, dude. Like, give us a whole movie like that. Like that's what I want, dude.
I still never seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
It's good.
I'm not going to watch
I'll
it.
be
You shit
honest
on
though,
Bruce
if you're
Lee.
watching
Fuck
The
him.
Conjuring like this, bro.
No, you got to watch it. You
Josh,
got
what happened? Josh, what happened? Tell me.
I'm
Tell me
trying.
what happened. What's
I'm
happening?
trying to get my
What
wife
happened?
to go with me to go see The Exorcist and shit. Like I've been trying to drag her to go see it. I still have never seen Get Out. I've never seen it.
You know how you said that 7 and 8mm was the two movies that got you all crazy, Josh. The movie that got me like that was a movie called Sleepers by Brad
that's a
Pitt.
good one. Yeah. It's
No.
Jason Patrick, Brad Pitt.
That one just like that one got me.
That's a fucked up story.
That's a fucked up story. And it was so well written.
You want?
And Kevin Bacon was on it. Like,
Yeah.
and you hated him. You hated Kevin Bacon on that movie.
We can make that for one of those late to the party movies. That's a good one.
It was that one really got me.
Okay, you ready? You guys are gonna fucking bust up laughing. The one my wife and everyone always talks about me getting ready to break something, like where people were getting a little nervous around me. Precious. There's a sequence in that movie.
You're right. The monster is pretty scary in that movie.
No, like Monique, the comedian, the one that plays her mom, beats the shit out of Precious, like in one of the most on film one of the most graphic ways I've ever seen a parent beat their child, to the point where I got up out of my seat and I was pacing around the fucking theater like I was gonna punch somebody. Like I was so pissed off, and everyone was like, "Dude, sit down." I was like, "Dude, no, man. Like I don't want to. I can't watch this anymore. Like I the rest of the movies like this. Like I'm gonna fucking hit somebody. Like because that's one thing I don't like. Like I don't dig that shit. Like I could watch people get their heads blown off and stuff like that, but when you
Well, that's
talk
what
about
Sleepers. Yeah, I was just like,
yeah, that's what made me think of
it was just that one got me like I was angry, like I wanted to kill Kevin Bacon and all his buddies and everything. It was just like, oh, it was rough.
If I ever find someone diddle a child, that's why I can't be a cop. No.
I'm the same way.
Yeah, no.
It's
So,
just like, yeah, if
That's maybe
you have
why
a
you should
chance,
be a cop.
if you have a chance, Liz, watch that movie. It's a really good movie.
yeah, Sleepers is good.
Yeah, Sleepers.
That's
Yeah, there you go.
right.
Watch this movie that upset these guys.
Hitman.
I'm sorry.
That's the reform school
Yeah.
income hitman. And
Yeah,
Well, they're not
movies like that or like
they're not hitmen. They're getting revenge.
they're getting revenge.
Yeah, that's
Well,
what
the
it
two
is.
kids turn into gangsters.
Right.
The kids because of the way they grew up. Well, the way all the stuff happened to them.
it's always those reform schools. Don't send your kids to reform schools.
Yeah.
$1 Million Baby, that ending like fucked me up too, dude. Where I was like, "Oh damn, they're really gonna do that?" Hey, if my shit dies out on me, my phone might die. So I'm hanging
About
on.
1 minute to go.
Yeah.
How about The Mist? We watched The Mist, right? Last Halloween, we watched The
Best
Mist.
ending.
didn't we?
That's one of the best
Oh.
endings right there, dude. Love that ending. Just to me, that's like, again, you give me. I love a Hollywood ending. I love a happy ending. You know what I mean? I love that. But you give me an ending where I'm just like, you got to be shitting me, like kind of like, oh my god, like this is crazy, you know, kind of thing. I'm in. Like I will love that movie, even if I hated the movie the whole way through. And you give me a good ending like that, but you know what? It just redeemed itself. We're good. I'm okay. I could take it.
It's so weird that movie got made based off of an audio book. It was never in print of his. Stephen King never put that movie in print, or never put that in print. It was an audio book. And it was creepy listening to it on audio and then to like actually like see a movie version of it. What's her name? Marcia Gay Wallace, is that her name? Bitch, man.
I love that movie. That's such a.
To eat her.
Yeah, that was
Crazy
rough,
woman.
dude.
It was a good movie.
All right, 11 o'clock. Thanks for talking shit with me, guys.
It was good
Got
being
it.
here. Missed you guys. And Havoc,
Definitely.
I'm glad you and Isaac and everyone made it back okay.
You got a
Definitely.
little turbulence back home, coming back, but everything was went well.
Good.
That's good. That's good. All right, so we got lots of good stuff. We're going to have 2 Halloween movies next week. And Sardar Udham. Is that what that was? Sardar Udham. I'll send that out.
We gotta keep up on Loki, yeah?
Yeah.
How many episodes of Loki are out?
Just 2.
Okay.
This week will be 3. They're not that long.
When do they come out again?
Thursday. Every Thursday.
That's
Yeah.
why we see it when we try to watch the second. We went on Wednesday to watch the second episode thinking it dropped on Wednesday. We're like, damn it, it's not out
No,
yet.
it's every
Dude, Generation,
Thursday.
if you're going to catch up on one, dude,
Havoc.
you'll have more fun doing Generation V.
Yeah.
Did you see the trailer for Iron Claw?
No.
Look it up right now, dude.
Iron Claw. Okay.
It's the Von Erich story. Jack Efron's playing. one
Oh,
of
the
Von
wrestling
Erich.
one.
Yeah, dude. Oh God, dude, that's my Christmas movie this year. That one and Silent Night. Those are my 2 Christmas movies this year.
Plus, you have to watch Slaughterhouse because I know Josh won't watch it with me, so I'll have to watch it, and then you'll have to watch it.
What channel is? I mean, I'm telling you,
It's
if
on-
any of
it's
these
on Hulu.
things,
It's on
any of these
Hulu.
things on
Yeah, that's
Prime,
Hulu.
the ones on Prime, you can do a watch party. We're gonna have to Kahoot and figure that out because I have to do it during the time when my kids aren't here or
House.
asleep or something. But
It's a
I would love to
slot.
run something like this. Run this while with us watching the movie, and then get our legit reactions. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah, it's a slot that terrorizes sorority.
Fucking, two things I love: sloths
And
and
it's not even a
sororities.
giant sloth, it's just a regular sloth. Look how cute he is. You gotta watch the trailer for it. It's so good. Sorry.
They better have boobs in
Try
it.
and find
That's
a
all I'm
movie.
saying.
Watch it.
Boobs. Boobs. We need more boobs in cinema.
Have you guys watched the show in Showtime called Billions?
Mm-mm.
It's really freaking good. You gotta watch it. It's a drama. Pretty good.
Billion. Oh yeah, I did. Preview for that.
Yeah, it's what's the actor's name? Jesus, Paul Giamatti is on it.
Yeah.
God, he's so good in this damn show. So good, he's supposed to be the good guy, yet you still hate him. He's so good on it.
That sounds about like him.
Great, such a good actor.
He's my favorite. My favorite with him is Shoot 'Em Up.
Yeah, I recommend that if you guys are bored and you already caught up to everything, watch Billions on Showtime. Well, it's on. Well, I think it's Paramount Plus now since Showtime. Or
I was gonna say I thought it was Paramount does that.
yeah, it's Paramount Plus now.
All right, so we're catching up on Loki. Generation V, dude. Generation V's fire. Text when you see the stuff. I really want to.
Is that on Generation V? Is every Friday, right?
That's on Prime.
Is it Friday?
It's on this. It's the same day as Loki. Thursday.
So Thursday. Okay.
If it's on Prime, why don't we do an episode of that? Let us get caught up and we'll do the finale.
Tell me when you're caught up.
Okay.
I'm down.
So I'm down to watch it with you guys if you want to watch a finale.
Yeah,
Why don't we
I'm down.
watch the finale?
I'm in
All right.
always, so.
All right, Fuzzy, take us out. Thanks for coming, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching as always. Do make sure you like, subscribe, give us all the love you can, and don't forget to have that love, that peace, and that Popeyes grease. We out.
Have a good night, everybody.